Galarian Stunfisk and Azumarill used to be one of the strongest cores that exist in the meta of Great League, but to be fair, this season we are not seeing much of these two around, so let's see what is going on, because today we're gonna showcase that very strong core while we're gonna lead these battles with our Serperior. Serperior is mostly afraid of the steel types and fires, so with that amazing backline that we have, we can somehow overcome those obstacles. However, there are some individual threats like this first battle with the Dragonair that I think are still gonna be notable, especially with them using Aqua Tail, since Dragon type is gonna resist our grass moves, and of course the Aqua Tail can be a massive threat to our Stunfisk. This is why we're shielding here as well, but they still managed to catch on the Cresselia. So Galarian Stunfisk here is definitely putting up the work with the rock slides, and at this point I'm not sure if we need to stay in here, but I'm gonna do that because another rock slide is imminent, and of course right after I'm just gonna switch out to my Serperior and do massive damage with my moves. I'm pretty sure that my Serperior doesn't have the best IVs possible, but we can somehow still survive the following moves and of course guarantee the knockout with our Aerial Ace. Now Dragonair comes into the battle for the final time since they are seeing my Azumarill and still they back out. This makes a lot of sense, but the next lead is gonna be even much worse than a Dragon type up in front, because we're having a Registeel and our only answer to this Pokemon is obviously gonna be our Poketrap one and of course that Galarian Stunfisk. So by switching out here to the Azumarill, we are still vulnerable to those moves and the nukes that Registeel is gonna throw, but this is, and trust me when I say this, the correct play to play this team, because now we're just gonna focus on the Azumarill, tank at least one sub-cannon, and we're gonna expect at some point the switch. This time they bring Cresselia, and another time they might bring something else, but this is your only long shot on this battle. You have to rely on your Galarian Stunfisk to destroy down whatever remains at their back. So as you can see here now, Freziplant is gonna connect for massive and lethal damage to that Cresselia, so we're expecting now the next Pokemon to emerge. We're seeing the Altaria, so this is an OG team with another OG core with Registeel and Altaria on the same team, but they are having Cresselia in between, which is a new staple for Great League according to PvPoke. So we're gonna go ahead and throw those earthquakes as much as we can to our opponent. I'm expecting the shields, but I cannot risk at this point at all, so another move is coming off from my opponent. Of course we need to respect their own nuke as well with that Focus Blast, and since we have two shields here, I feel very comfortable that we can block twice, and right after they will try to catch one move on that Altaria. We know better, we're gonna wait a little bit more, and Rock Slide is gonna be the move that we are gonna throw. Unfortunately for us, we are debuffed, so those Rock Slides are not gonna do a lot of damage, but hopefully we can still have the upper hand if we can play our cards correctly. All we need to do here is to bring them to no HP with our Serperior. In the process they throw the energy, which is much appreciated by me, because now I can easily overfarm, and because of that overfarm, not only we are able to finish off Altaria right on time before they reach to the next charge attack, but also with the Earthquake to outspeed Registeel to the nuke and grab this next victory. Into the next battle now, and we're having a Clodsire up against us. This Pokemon is another kinda bad lead to our team because of its poison typing. On the good news though, most of those Clodsires do not even run Sludge Bomb nowadays. They tend to go with Stone Edge and Earthquake, which is pretty great for us. We can take advantage of that, and by taking that risk in mind, we managed to absorb one move on our Serperior and the second on the amazing catch on our Azumarill. So here comes now their own Azumarill, and look at that, we can go ahead and throw the Play Roughs. Let's see how this is gonna end, because this is a long way to faint battle, and of course we're just gonna exchange a few of those bubbles and the Play Roughs. So here comes now another one from my end, and since we're having a little bit of time, let me tell you something at this point of this video. I am having my videos released a little bit earlier each day, so if you want to see those videos released earlier, just be sure to become a member to my channel. You are not gonna regret it. A lot of other perks will unlock in the way alongside that one, so you get to finish off your videos much earlier, have the strategy that you need right on time, and of course get to support me much more doing my content here on YouTube. With that said, now let's head over to do the commentating once again as we're having the Dugong coming into the battle. This Pokemon is pretty troublesome because of those Ice Winds and of course the Drill Run, but all we have to do at this point is to get to those Rock Slides, which are still super effective, and since they're getting super low and I have the shield advantage, I am pretty comfortable by staying here to this battle, and of course my Stunfisk can pull off a lot of work from my opponent. So at this point I'm just gonna go for the overfarm, still reach to the Rock Slide, and I know that at some point I need to clear those debuffs. They're gonna throw now the Ice Beam, which is not that great overall. This is gonna put us super low, but we can still go ahead and farm down. Now I'm gonna throw my move here, hoping that we can take the shield. Yes, we can. Now switching out to clear the debuffs, and they need one more Ice Art to reach there, but we're already on the Rock Slide and we can get that victory after we clear the debuff from our opponent. That was a heck of a match, so let's get now into the next one because we're having another horrible lead. Are you kidding me? And of course Talonflame with Azumarill out of the picture will just roam if we are not careful because of our steel typing on the Stunfisk. So play rough now against this Hypno, and all we have to do here is to block the Thunder Punches, and I'm not doing a great work at this point. So I am getting a little bit too excited for this battle, but it will make sense to you. All I want to do at this point is to get as much energy as I can on my Galarian Stunfisk, so I do not definitely want to finish off the Hypno as much as I can, but I want to put it that low that I can easily farm it down with the Mud Shots, while at the same time I want to get those shields out of play. This will give me a lot of play with a simple Rock Slide against the Talonflame, which needs one more Incinerate to get there to their move. To my surprise, they have a Bastiodon at the back, which means that now that shields are down, they're super weak to my Galarian Stunfisk. Let's get here now to the Rock Slide to finish off Talonflame, and of course right after Bastiodon will stand no chance up against us. Of course our only chance here is to finish them off with a simple Earthquake, but this is just a favorable matchup for our Pokemon and we can take this victory pretty easily as it seems, even though we had a horrible lead and a not that great switch in. So let's see how this is gonna fold since they have a Bastiodon now up in front. This Pokemon is very troublesome for our Serperior. They can easily finish us off if they want to. Every single move that we're gonna throw is not gonna do a lot of work, so yeah, not that great to have a Bastiodon up against us. So my opponent at this point will bring their Razor Leafer, and this is kinda good but kinda weird at the same time because they threw the energy that they had on my Azumarill. Also you can see here that they can still survive the RLAs, which is not that great for me, but since we can overfarm here a lot, I decide to go ahead and spend my first shield. All we have to do at this point is to go ahead and throw that Frenzy Plant, not for big damage but still kinda a good amount of it, and right after now we're having the Wigglytuff at the back. So here comes now the Earthquake for big damage on the Wiggly, and all we have to do at this point is to reach to a double Rock Slide. I'm just gonna get there, they are gonna block, obviously they want to get as much help as they can from that Wigglytuff, but to be fair, even with the debuff we have nothing to worry about. Just gonna reach to a double Rock Slide here, finish of Wigglytuff, and then it is just a race to the next Nook, which is the Earthquake, and we can definitely get there before they do, which means that we can get not an easy victory but kinda of a hard earned one. Another Bastiodon up against us. Let's see how this is gonna unfold. This trainer also reached out to me after this battle. They were polite, they said GG and stuff, but when they told me that they were running Shadow Victreebel because at the time I was not remembering their team composition, I was like, you should be pretty ashamed of yourself. But yeah, overall that was a joke from my end as well. I hate these teams, but still they work pretty well, so I guess they are right for using them, since you're gonna see the outcome in a while, and of course this Shadow Victreebel will still put off a lot of work up against me. So RLAs is as always my move up against them, and as you're gonna see in a while, yeah, they can definitely survive those moves. The second one hopefully can absolutely land, but at this point they have at the back Azumarill, so the outcome is not settled yet, but still we're not losing looking that great, even though we have that shield advantage. They managed to block the earthquake, which was a pretty risky block, but still it worked against me, and now another earthquake is coming up. I know that my chances here is if I can protect my Galarian Stunfisk as soon as I can and as much as I can, so I have to block at the moment they throw whatever move they are gonna reach at. So Azumarill here definitely has more than a nice beam ready to go. Here comes the move, and I will try to catch here on my Serperior, but it is not gonna work at all. Here comes now the Frenzy Plant, which is not gonna do a lot of damage, nor it is gonna put them that low that we can easily farm down, which means that they can easily reach here to the Flamethrower in return to finish off my Stunfisk, and of course we're gonna give up not a win, but still a more challenging battle than usual. So next one, trainers, and this is gonna be the final one, as I can see here. Yeah, this is the final one. So we're having now a Poliwrath. Finally we catch kind of a great lead for our Serperior, but still those Icy Winds are not gonna be appreciated that much by our grass typing. So we have to block whatever they throw, but as always we can easily outspeed them to the next charge attack, because they need 7 and 6 while we always need 6 and 5, which is pretty great. So here comes now my Earthquake on that Cresselia, and we're looking just good at this point. Not the best incident ever, because we're both bulky, we exchange neutral attacks, and of course the grass knots can always outspeed my Earthquakes. So I'm just gonna press here the Rock Slide for the bait, which was not that great. As you can see, they managed to catch on the Poliwrath, and I decide to grab that final Rock Slide for the end game and bank it around. So I have to use a combo here and sacrifice more energy in the process with my Serperior. Frenzy Plant now to finish off Cresselia, and at the back they have a Abomasnow. I know at this point that all I have to do is to go ahead and use my RLAs, use a Rock Slide at some point to finish them off, but in the process I might need to sacrifice my Azumarill to grab that shield out of them. So here comes now the Ice Beam, I believe, from my part, but for some reason I'm not gonna press it at all. This was definitely a mistake, but they end up going for another Energy Ball. Doesn't matter, whatever move that might have been, I still have a back-to-back combo here, one Ice Beam and a Rock Slide to grab the victory for the finish off, and of course the final one for this video. Thank you for watching, trainers, and for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you are new to my content, and why not become a member to support me even more. With that said, I have 2 videos for you to check out. Feel free to check them out, and I will see you all into the next one.